I have a strategy expert and a LinkedIn expert living inside Claude, and I never explain my business to them twice. 2 years ago, I started building these, and today they do most of the thinking with me. Let me show you the first one. Inside Claude, a project is an assistant you set up once and come back to. It has its own instructions, its own knowledge, and its own memory. This one is Strategy Sarah. She is my strategy expert. These are her instructions. This is where I told her who she is and how she helps me. This is her knowledge, and look, it's synced straight from Google Drive, at least most of it. Every time I start a new chat with her, she checks the real files. I never re-upload anything. And this is her memory. Claude builds it on its own while we work. One honest thing about the memory, do not fully trust it. When something is really important, tell her to write a short summary and save it to her knowledge yourself. When you build your own, name it by the role, not the task. So not crafting strategy, but strategy advisor, or even like me with the name, Steven Strategy or whatever. So it feels more like an assistant. Write who it is in the instructions, connect your knowledge, then talk to it and coach it like a new person you just hired. You do not need 10 experts immediately. Build one, talk to it, feel the difference, then build the next. That is your first expert thinking with you. Now, this is already great, but your experts still only think with you. The next step is to give your assistant tools and hands so it can actually do the work for you. Watch it in the next part. I gave Claude Cowork one sentence and it built me a slide deck and a carousel, then pinged me on Slack when it was done, all at the same time. This is Cowork, and it is my favorite thing to show. Cowork is the first Claude tool that actually does the work for you. It can reach your files, run things on your computer, and work while you do something else. It still feels like chatting, but here you start a task, not a chat, because Cowork is doing things. On the right, you always see a preview of what it is doing. Let me give it a real job. First, I choose the folders it is allowed to work in. This is not only for reading, it is where it will work. Then the prompt. I say, search my Airtable, the transcripts tab, find a Claude Bootcamp transcript, make a slide deck and a carousel from it, and send me a Slack message with a short summary and where to find the files. Watch what happens. It writes a plan first and checks off each step as it goes. The plan is here. I love that. And now the good part. It sends out sub-agents and they work in parallel. One builds the deck, one builds the carousel, one writes the summary, all at once. See, that is already more fun. And there it is, a Slack message just pinged me. Your bootcamp content is ready. The slide deck is in my folder as a real PowerPoint. The carousel is there too. One sentence in, 3 finished things out. That is the whole point of Cowork. It does many things at once, so you're not the only one working anymore. One small note, Cowork is now also on mobile, so you can use it from anywhere. But there are some differences on how to use it there. I will show you more on that soon. Anyway, underneath Cowork runs on Claude Code. Same engine, friendlier face. So that is your door, the tool that gets the work done. In the next part, I show you the 2 tools that design and build things for your business so you can stop paying for Canva and for a developer. I fired Canva and my human designer and developer. Sounds harsh, but as a solopreneur, I cannot afford to wait on other people's calendars anymore. Claude designs everything for my business now, and then Claude Code builds it for real. Let me show you the handover because this is the part people ask me about the most. This is Claude Design. I describe what I want in plain language. Then Claude designs it on a canvas. I leave comments. I move things around. I change the text myself until the page looks right. No coding here at all. Now the trick. This is the part that changes everything. When the design is ready, I hand it to Claude Code and I say, build this for me and keep the design the way it is. And it does. A few minutes later, the page is real and live, not a picture of a page, the actual working thing. And I only had to design it once. That was a moth. I just had to go off and kill it. Now, Claude Code knows my style, so every new page comes out on brand without me opening the designer again. My whole dashboard was built this way. But when do you actually need Claude Code? Claude Code is your developer, not your brainstorm partner. For anything a bit bigger, even a landing page, I start in a normal chat first, or even in ChatGPT. If you are a token saver, that's the thing to do. I write a short product requirements document, or PRD, there. What I want for whom, what it should do. Then I paste that into Claude Code and let it build. Do not start big. Do not try to automate your whole business on day one. And keep it safe. Claude Code asks before every action by default. I also give it rules in writing. Never delete or overwrite without asking, no autonomous installs, treat my input data as read-only, and so on. I teach all of that in my bootcamps. So design with Claude Design, build with Claude Code, and let the two talk to each other. That is the workflow. So now you have a thinker, a doer, a designer, a builder. In the next part, I put them all together into one team that runs your business while you sleep. Claude Chat was only the beginning for me. What changed my business was turning Claude into a whole system, a team of experts working on top of everything I know. Let me show you how the pieces fit. It starts with your knowledge. Claude is only as helpful as what it knows about you and your work. So first, you connect it to your knowledge, a connector like Google Drive or a second brain, a set of files Claude can read. On top of that knowledge sit your experts. Those are your projects, like my strategy Sarah or LinkedIn Laura. Then there is Cowork, the doer that takes tasks and does them for you in parallel. Claude Design is your designer. Claude Code is your development team. And at the far end of this, the horizon is your own team of AI agents. Mine are Maya, Sarah, Vera, and some other. They run while I sleep and build them, and I build them with Claude Code. That is the most advanced level, and it is honestly not where you start. One rule I live by through all of this: I am a human. I do not read Markdown. I make my team talk to me in plain language, on Slack, on a dashboard I can actually see. Whatever you build it so you can see it and use it easily. And where do you start? Pick one expert, build it this week, talk to it, then build the next. This is what we built together in my Claude Bootcamp. Sign-ups open Monday, and the link to all of it is on School. Link is in my bio. Come and build your first expert with me.